Creating a survey using ThoughtExchange is a quick and easy process. In this video, I'll be running through the steps so you have everything you need to create a great survey. The first step is to log in to ThoughtExchange at my.thoughtexchange.com using my email address and password. Once you log in, you should see the landing page that you see here. If you don't see the landing page or have the option to create engagements, reach out to your account administrator to make sure you've been given the permissions that you need. First, I'll click the Create button in the upper right-hand corner to get started. If you have permissions that allow you to create both exchanges and surveys, you'll need to select which one you'd like to build. If you only have survey leader permissions, you'll head right into the survey creation stepper. Depending on your account settings, you'll see either 4 or 5 steps indicated at the top of the screen here. The participant step we see here will only appear if your account is set up with the contact upload feature or with our Slack or Microsoft Teams integrations. The first step is called Survey Details, and this is where we can enter some basic information about our survey, including a title that we can use to stay organized, an objective that describes the goal of my survey, and an introduction, where I can provide some basic information to my participants, informing them about the survey and its purpose. You may also choose to include an attachment, such as a video introduction, using the Add Attachment option here. If you do include an attachment, you can use this toggle on the right-hand side of the screen to choose whether it appears before or after your introductory text. Finally, you can use the Custom Leader Name option if you'd like something other than your own name to appear on the survey. By default, participants will see the name you've set up on your profile, but you can use this option to use a team or an organization name instead. Once I'm done filling in my survey details, I'll click the Save and Next button to move to the next step. I could also click Save as Draft if I want to save my work and move back to the main landing page. The next step is called Survey Questions, and this is, unsurprisingly, where I'll create the questions for my survey. I can build questions from scratch using the Add Survey Questions dropdown here, or I can use templated questions if any exist for the room that I'm working in. There are 6 question types: multiple choice, checkbox, dropdown, Likert scale, satisfaction score, and comment box. If you'd like to learn more about each question type and how to use them, please check out our help article about survey question types on our help site, get.thoughtexchange.help. Very briefly, multiple choice questions provide a list of responses where participants are asked to choose a single answer only. Checkbox questions provide a list of responses and allow participants to choose more than one response. Drop-down questions present response options in a drop-down menu and ask participants to choose only one answer. These are handy for questions with a long list of possible responses. Likert scale questions ask participants to rate their agreement or alignment with an idea on a 5-point scale. Think strongly agree, agree, neither agree or disagree, disagree or strongly disagree, for example. Satisfaction score questions ask participants to rate their satisfaction in some area on a scale of 1 to 10. And comment box questions allow participants to write their own response to a question. These responses are capped at 300 characters. I'll just quickly create a few demonstration questions, then hit Save and Next to move to the next step. As I create my questions and move on to the next question, the question that I've written previously will become this read-only format. All I need to do to go back and edit my question is click the pencil icon next to the question number. I can also reorder my questions by clicking on this 6-dot icon and dragging the question to where I'd like it to appear. Once I'm finished creating my questions, I'll hit Save and Next to move to the next step. The Schedule step is where you can configure an automatic launch date or deadline date and time for your survey. All I need to do here is select when I would like my survey to close for my participants. And if I want to have it automatically open, I can toggle that option on here and choose a date and time as well. All the times here correspond to the local time of the person building the survey. So if I'm on the West Coast and set my survey to close at 9 p.m., it will close at 12 a.m. for participants in the Eastern time zone. Once I'm finished with this step, I'll click Save and Next once again. Depending on your account settings, your next step may be this one, where if you like, you can set up automatic invitations that will go out to potential participants through email, Microsoft Teams, or Slack. To learn more about each of these integrations, check out our help articles about them at get.thoughtexchange.help. If I select any of these channels, I'll have the option to customize my invitation message here. For this demonstration, I'll toggle this step to off and then click Save and Next to move to the final step. The summary step is where I can review my work before launching my survey. Here I can see all the information I've entered previously and make sure everything is as I want it to be. If I need to make any changes, I can click back to any previous step at the top of the screen here, or I can hit the Launch button to create a link for my survey that I can begin sharing with my participants at my convenience. But before I do that, let's take a quick look at a couple of final options. In reviewing my survey, I may want to take a look at it from the perspective of one of my participants. I can do that by clicking the Preview button here at the top of the page. This will save my work and open a new tab where I can move through the survey and see exactly what my participants will see. Preview mode will not save any of the responses that I enter here. It's for review purposes only. I can share this link with other people I want to review the survey before I launch it, but be careful not to accidentally share this link with your participants because, once again, none of the responses that I enter here will be saved. When I'm finished reviewing the preview, I can close this tab. Finally, we have the Survey Settings menu, which is indicated by this gear icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen next to the Preview button. Settings has 4 tabs that I can use to customize or make changes to my survey. First is the General tab, where I have the option to require my participants to log into ThoughtExchange with an email address and password in order to participate in my survey. This does add a step for participants, but it's handy if my survey is especially long and participants may need to complete it over more than one session. Requiring participants to log in ensures that the software will recognize them and allow them to pick up where they left off, even if they switch devices. Their account information will not appear with their responses. It's only used to create a smoother experience for them. Also, if my profile has permissions that allow me to create exchanges as well as surveys, I can switch between those options here. This is handy if I start working on my survey but decide I'd like my participants to be able to share thoughts in response to an open-ended question and rate one another's thoughts. The Language tab is where I can adjust the multi-language capabilities of my survey. ThoughtExchange supports custom translations for English, French, and Spanish. If I activate any of these options here and then click Apply, when I come back to my stepper, I'll see an additional step called Translations. Here I can enter custom text in French or Spanish for any of the elements I've already created for my survey. The basic instructions participants see cannot be changed though. Back in the Language menu, there's also an on-off toggle for Offer additional participation languages with Google Translate. This selection is on by default and allows participants to choose any Google Translate supported language to participate in. This saves me as the leader the work of translating things myself, but means that the translations might not always appear perfect. If I would prefer not to have that option presented, I can turn it off here. The Participation Groups tab allows you to create a sorting question that will split participants into separate groups. This is more commonly used for exchanges, but in the context of a survey, provides an additional filter I can use when digging into my results. This sorting question is set up to be just like a multiple choice question, and also allows you to use a template if one exists in the room that you're working in. Here I can set up my question and my different answer groups. The final tab of the Settings menu is Survey Question Branching. This tool allows you to create a custom path for participants based on their answers to previous questions. You can set up conditions that will allow you to show or hide questions based on previous responses, create drill down questions for a series of questions that build on one another, or end the survey for a participant. To learn all about survey question branching, check out our article about it on our help site at get.thoughtexchange.help. Once I'm finished in the settings menu, I can click Apply to save my changes, and then click either Exit or the X in the top right corner of the screen to return to the stepper. Once my survey is ready to go, I can click the Launch button, which will open this dialog box that contains everything I need to begin inviting people to participate in my survey. My survey will now appear in my list of engagements, where I can quickly click the Results button to get a view of my results, or click the Manage menu to edit the survey, retrieve invite information, or anything else I might need to do. And that's all there is to it. We hope you found this video useful. Until next time, happy thought exchanging.